Okay, I'm back again talking about car insurance. This time I'm going a little bit in depth about it. Car insurance is something that everybody pays. Well, most people pay worldwide. Is something that people have. In America, it's by law that you should have car insurance. So you should know a lot about it, and you'll be surprised that a lot of people are paying for car insurance that they don't really know really what they're covered for. So we're just going to go through it. Yes. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so first we're just going to go over basically what we're going to talk about the types of auto insurance coverage. First thing you need to know, there's no such thing as full coverage. If you ever hear somebody say full coverage, ask them to tell you the details. There's no such thing as full coverage on a auto coverage or any insurance coverage, what's called the declaration page. The declaration page lists everything that you're covered for. And when you look at it, you will see nothing that says full coverage on there. You will see collision, comprehension, property damage, rental car. And yes, it has to say rental car on the declaration page. If it does not say actual rental car, you do not have the coverage. Again, if it does not say rental car coverage, you don't have it. Okay, you also have medical coverage, which breaks into two different categories, and also you have what's called uninsured motorist, something else that it has to say uninsured motorist, so you have the coverage, and also hit and run coverage, loan NPO. I'll go in more detail what that is. Roadside assistance, also known as AAA coverage, mechanical breakdown, which is something separate from collision or comprehension, and then lastly, I'll just add additional info that you need to know. Okay, collision coverage basically it pays for damage to your car, either if you were involved in an accident or you hit an object. Something that a lot of people don't think about with collision coverage is if you hit something in a road or you hit a pothole or something like that that causes damage. A lot of things fly out of people's cars and people run over it and it causes damages to your vehicle, and that's where collision coverage comes in. But also, in addition, the reason why you need collision coverage, even if your car is paid off or is low valued, if your car needs to be towed after an accident and you have collision coverage, your insurance company actually pays for that. It's part of your collision coverage. Always double check that with your insurance company when you get a collision. Just double check that. But in the state of California, it is covered. Also, it covers tow yard. Let's say your vehicle is towed, but now it's in a tow yard and there's a tow yard bill. If you have collision coverage, it will cover that. Car seats. If you have collision coverage and your child was in a car seat, that's you will either get money toward payment for a new car seat or a refund on the car seat if you have the receipt. It's important if you have the receipt to get the full refund for what you paid for it. Okay, collision coverage does not pay for rental cars. A lot of people believe that rental car coverage is within collision. It is not. It is a separate coverage. Again, rental car coverage is a separate coverage from collision coverage. And also, one mistake people make with collision coverage, understanding your deductible. A deductible is something that you pay regardless of fault. Regardless of fault, again, regardless of fault, even if you're not at fault, you pay the deductible. In some cases, it can be waived, but we're not going to go into that detail. If you put a deductible for $2,500 on your collision coverage, you should be ready to pay $2,500. I recommend be at the minimum $250. When you put it at $2,500, you're just signing up to get into an accident. But that's the basics on collision coverage. There's a plane going by. Comprehension coverage. Comprehension coverage is what I look at as mostly catalytic converter theft. We got a big catalytic converter theft problem here in California. But comprehension basically pays for if there's an attempted theft on your vehicle, if your vehicle is actually stolen and is damaged, vandalism, if your car is damaged during like a protest, or somebody just wants to go around breaking cars and they damage your car. Shootings. If your car it's a shootout and your car has bullet holes in it, comprehension will cover it. Also, flood, fire, damage to your car, the comprehension will kick in. But once again, understand your deductible. A lot of people set their comprehension deductible for $2,500. Don't do that. You want it at $250. Also, if you have comprehensive, you have to do this. You have to add glass damage with either a $100 deductible or no deductible. That way your glass damage is covered in comprehensive, but it has to say glass damage with comprehensive, not just comprehensive. Once again, to have glass coverage, you have to have glass damage added to it. But basic comprehensive is something good to have, especially if you live in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Oakland area. There's a lot of Cadillac converter rings, even here in, even also in San Diego as well as growing. It's probably growing all across the country. Okay, now property damage. Property damage is something that is always confused with collision. What property damage is if you're driving a car and you were found to be at fault for damaging another vehicle or somebody else's property. For example, if you look at this picture right here, you see this person here, they did not hit another car, but they took out a pole, that's a government property, and they also took out a piece of this wall here. Now this pole here, the city is going, with the police being there, the city is going to send a bill to this driver for damage for this pole, which can be very expensive. Also, you have damage here to the fence area here. Whoever owns this property is going to send a bill to this driver. Through the police, they will find out who this driver is. Also, if they get your license plate number, they can find out who your insurance is and also send you a bill that you will have to pay. And that's basically what property damage is. It covers if you cause damage. And sometimes people don't think they need it because I'm a great driver, I'll never be found at fault. Sometimes you may be found at fault when you're not at fault. We'll go through more of that later. Okay, the coverages range for property damage is $5,000 to $100,000, even maybe more. A lot of people are found to be what's called underinsured when it comes to property damage because they get the bare minimum $5,000 worth of PD, which is property damage, which is nothing. You might as well not even have it. $5,000 wouldn't even cover this brand new bumper for this car. As people know, inflation is in, costs for new parts, everything is up. $5,000, you might find yourself in court or facing a lawsuit because your insurance is just going to pay the $5,000. If it costs this wreck right here, where this person rearing this person, that's at least $8,000 worth of damage. That's causing replacing the rear bumper, putting the vehicle in the shop, paying for the labor, and if the person wanted a rental car. It could be more, and they can find yourself in court. This is a very big thing. A lot of people, after they get their cars paid off, they move their property damage, get rid of their collision, and they get the $5K PD, $5,000 worth of property damage. And then they find themselves in court paying out $20,000 when they should have just upped their coverage to $100,000. You don't have to go to $100,000. I say at minimum $50,000, have $50,000 worth of property damage coverage. Rental car reimbursement. Two things with rental car. You can have it to where if you get into an accident and you need a rental car and you have the coverage stated on your policy, it physically says rental car coverage on the declaration page. I'll say that again, make sure you have rental car coverage stated on your declaration page. It must be stated there. Basically, if you need a rental car, you can get one from your rental car company. From your insurance company. They can set it up for you to where the bill comes directly to them, and you have it for up to 30 days. That's something big. You have it up to 30 days as long as your vehicle is either getting repaired or being evaluated. Currently, right now, the lowest rate they have for a rental car is $30 per day. Don't get that. Get at least $40 to $50. I would say at least get $50 now, basically due to inflation. $30 a day does not cover a rental car now. Those rates will be changed. Probably by 2025, you probably won't see $30 a day rental car coverage. And you also can get a rental car on your own, but you must know how much the insurance company will pay per day with taxes. Some people get rental cars on their own. They say, oh, I got $30 a day, but when the taxes kick in, it comes out to be $40 a day or $38, $39, something like that. And that means you have to come out of pocket because the insurance company will only pay what is stated on the policy. It's not about what you feel. The insurance company pays what is stated on the policy. When dealing with insurance, you must always remember, think like a legal document, like you're going to court. Are you covered? And one thing that is not covered for rental coverage, if you have a mechanical breakdown, say if your transmission goes out, your alternator is bad, or you need a new tire, you ain't got the money, so you're gonna use a rental car. No, it doesn't work like that. We'll talk more about mechanical breakdown. Medical coverage. Now, medical coverage falls under many things. A lot of people believe I get into a car accident, I have bodily injury, and so that'll pay for my medical bills because I don't have medical insurance. No. When it comes to medical coverage, bodily injury coverage pays for damage for bodily injury or death to the other person that was in the car, to the other person you were in the accident with, or like if you hit like a pedestrian or a biker, or maybe your passenger in your car if they're not a relative. That's very tricky. That's something I need to point out here. Bodily injury for your passenger in your car is kind of tricky on what happened. Like if you're related, it doesn't cover it. It depends on your coverage. That's something that you have to pay attention to. But just to keep that from happening to where that, to cover yourself and people in your car, you want what's called medical payments coverage. And that pays for you and anybody in your car at the time of an accident. MedPay, also known as medical pay. You can get up to $10,000. That's the most I've seen, but I recommend just have some if you don't have your own personal medical insurance. And then there's also called personal injury protection coverage. This depends on what state you live in. Not all states don't provide this. A lot of people don't know it, but states have different. They have the Department of Insurance that tells insurance companies what type of coverages they can or can't offer. Personal injury protection may pay for medical treatment, lost wages. Lost wages, that's big. Like if you're in an accident and you have personal injury protection, also known as PIP, if you are out of work for a little while, they also can pay you for lost wages. So look into that well. And that's for you. So MedPay and personal injury protection, that's for you and the people in your car. Bodily injury liability is against the other person if you're in an accident. And if you're in an accident and you're not at fault, and say the other person is doesn't have insurance, the person they're liable and they don't have insurance, then uninsured motorists, which I'm going to talk about next, come into play. Gotcha. Okay, uninsured motorists and underinsured motorists, there's a difference. Uninsured means they have no insurance at all. That means they have nothing. Underinsured, which means they have bare minimum coverage and not enough coverage to cover the damages that was caused. Okay, and you need uninsured motorists for collision. I recommend everybody to have it, especially people here in California. Not getting political here, but we have a lot of people that are in this country that are not citizens and they don't have insurance. They don't. Some people even do. A lot of people will say, I'm thinking talking to people from Mexico, but it's a lot of people that are from Mexico and they're here working and they actually have insurance here. Is other people that just are here. I'll just say it like that. And then it's got the regular American citizens just don't have insurance driving around. Somebody hits your car and you have uninsured motorists. Coverage, that means your deductible could be waived for your collision coverage, but you must make sure that you have uninsured motorist collision. It must say uninsured motorist collision on your declaration page. A lot of people see that they have uninsured motorist, underinsured motorist bodily injury, and they believe it's going to cover collision. No, that is not true. Uninsured motorist collision covers your vehicle if you're hit by an uninsured driver. Uninsured motorist and underinsured motorist bodily injury covers if you're hit by somebody who seriously hurts somebody, either you or passengers in your car, then that insurance can be used to cover medical expenses. You also can get an uninsured motorist waiver for any deductibles, such as on comprehension or on, not comprehension, uninsured motorist for collision. Say if somebody hits you and they don't have insurance, your deductible's waived. But it must say it, uninsured motorist waiver for deductible. A lot of people think because if they're not at fault, this is automatic. No, it is not. You can be not at fault and still have to pay your deductible, okay? It's something that people must remember, because a lot of people will say, well, I wasn't fault. I don't believe or feel as though I should have to pay this. It's not about how you feel. It's what's written on your policy. So really, really go through that. And last but not least is a really, really tough one. Well, this ain't last but not least. This is like an important one. Hit and run coverage. Hit and run coverage is completely different from uninsured motorist coverage. Hit and run coverage is where somebody hits you and they drive off, and you don't know who it is. You just have a vehicle that hit you and drove off. And you just know, and you can prove that somebody hit your vehicle, but you don't know their license. You don't know nothing about it. So it has to physically say hit and run coverage. This is something that's offered by some insurance, but not all insurance. I highly recommend having this insurance if you live in Los Angeles or the Bay, San Francisco, Oakland area. It's a lot of hit and runs that happen there, mainly because people, their money is tight in that area. Even people making big money, you think, oh, this person making 6 figs, why are they doing a hit and run? Because they're broke. Hit and run in San Francisco is nothing. The prices there are ridiculous. Get a dash camera. Hit and run, dash cameras help with hit and run cases. It helps identify the person that hit it, and it also proves that that person hit you. A lot of hit and run cases, people do find out the person and they chase them down, and the person tries to deny they hit the car. They'll disappear for a while, and by the time the police or your insurance company finds them, they say, what are you talking about? I wasn't in no accident. My car is fixed. There's no well, not fixed. My car has no damage, and you can see that the car is completely clean, perfectly painted. It's a 1990 Toyota. It's got perfect paint job. Something's wrong there, because people don't care. So it's good to get a dash camera, mainly for hit and run cases. It helps prove your case. It can help identify the person that hit you, get a good image of the license plate, which can help find the person that hit you. Loan NPO. Loan NPO, you might not know what it is. It's also known as gap insurance by by an auto insurance. A lot of gap insurance is offered for when you get a loan, but a lot of people don't get it, or they don't know to get it, or some loan companies don't offer it. Most do though. Most say, yeah, get the gap, because they want to make sure they get their money back. So if you fail to get gap insurance with your loan, with your auto insurance, which everybody, if you have a loan, you need to stop, check it, and make sure you have gap insurance. If you don't, go get loan NPO, because basically what loan NPO it covers if you don't have gap insurance. So why do you need gap insurance? What does that cover? Let's say you get into a car accident, you have a loan on the car, and the car is totaled out. Okay, and the value, for example, you pay $20,000 for a 1990 Chevy, and it's only worth $2,000. So the insurance company is only going to pay $2,000. So the bank is going to be saying, well, we need the rest of our money. And if you don't have gap insurance, that means you have to pay out of pocket. But if you have loan NPO, then the insurance will cover that. So that NPO, just to make it simple, is basically gap insurance by your insurance company. Roadside and emergency services, everybody should have this. It's highly recommended because sometimes you just can't do the maintenance on the car, even where they're changing the car. Most people know how to change a tire. It's very simple. But some people have what I call a bad spare. Some people got that stupid, ridiculous donut in their car. Get rid of it. If you have a donut in your car, get rid of it. Get a real tire and rim in the trunk of your car, and make sure you got a good jack. But if you don't like doing all that, you can always call AAA, or make sure you have roadside service on it. I recommend AAA. AAA, everybody knows AAA. Their brand is perfect. It's great. I recommend AAA because they have their own tow trucks. They have their own stuff like that, and they'll come get you. Also, they can, like if you have a fuel problem. Oh, if you got an electric vehicle, yes. Some AAAs, they have it where they can send out and give you a charge so you can drive home. Okay, I don't like electric vehicles. That's a different topic. Okay, mechanical breakdown. This one is a tough one. Some insurance companies do offer mechanical breakdown insurance for your vehicle, such if your alternator goes out and you don't have the money, then they'll just put it in the shop, get a new alternator, put it in. Transmission, yeah, but in some cases you have to talk to the insurance company offering mechanical breakdown insurance. And it has to say mechanical breakdown insurance, and then specifically go into detail what all they cover. Most people don't get a mechanical breakdown because they get it and they run into issues with it. Because it doesn't cover, like if you've got a very, very old car, they won't cover the mechanical. They'll just pay you out and move the vehicle, a total loss. A total loss is basically where it costs more to repair a vehicle than a vehicle's worth. Okay, so yeah, mechanical breakdown, you must get into the details with that. And just last little bit of notes here, additional details. Get a dash camera, it helps improving accident, especially liability, because sometimes the person that hit you can lie and say that you actually caused the accident. This happens a lot with lane change. Lane changes are very hard accidents to prove, because one person might say that person changed lanes, another person might say no, that person changed lanes. So that's where a dash camera comes into play, in proving who's liable for an accident, or somebody, when it comes to red lights, who ran the red light or the stop sign. A dash camera helps that. Also, you need to know what to do if you get into a car accident. Talk to your insurance company. Most insurance companies have pamphlets that tell what to do, such as getting photos of every vehicle at the accident, every piece of property that was damaged. Get information from the other person involved. If they don't want to give it, just get the license plate and record the damages on their car. It's okay. Your insurance company can find them as long as they have insurance, because some people hide. And then take a picture of the person too. But you need like a full breakdown. You should have a card or like a pamphlet or something that tells people in the car what to do. Some people that I know, just like because I am a veteran, just like they would have in the government vehicles. Okay, all right. So that's just your brief on car insurance. Just now you're ready. It's like Vin Diesel, hit the streets. All right, thank you.